I always say before a storm comes, take a lot of pictures. Let's take pictures of your home looking like it's supposed to look like, take pictures of the roof, take pictures of inside the house, take pictures of even your car.
Hey guys, welcome to another market update with Buying South Florida. Today we have Sam, our public adjuster. His company has been in the business for over 5 years, and today we're going to talk about how he can help us file claims, or you as the property owner, and how he can improve your claim and the payouts from these insurance companies.
Yes, thank you, Mario. Thank you for having me. My name is Sam Michaels. I work for Compass Claim Consultants. We're based out of Miami Shores, licensed to help anybody in South Florida with a property claim. We look for people who have property damage to their house or business. Most common forms of damage in South Florida is water damage, but we also do fire claims and hurricane claims. Mainly a public adjuster is somebody who helps the person who has the damage. We are not the insurance company, but we help you get your money from the insurance company. Insurance companies in South Florida tend to deny people wrongfully and underpay people. And it's a practice that they consistently do to almost all claims. And the state of Florida allows them to do whatever they want. The insurance companies can pay you whatever they want, and there's really no negotiation or anything. So that's why the state of Florida has made licenses for public adjusters like myself, and we're allowed to negotiate your claim with the insurance company. And that's allowed through the state of Florida. So it's important to know what a public adjuster is, because we help you get the money from the insurance company. Once again, we are not the insurance company. We fight for you.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So you're like our defender in against these insurance companies in some sense, right?
That's correct. Once a claim is put in, they send out their own adjuster, their own engineers, they have their own attorneys, and all these people work for the insurance company. They do not work for you. I work for you. I'm the adjuster that's on your side. We have our own engineers, our own attorneys, and we will fight until you're happy with the outcome of whatever claim that's put in. It's important to make sure that you're not in this alone. Hiring a public adjuster, we know what's in your policy. We know what's supposed to be paid, and we know what your rights are. And the average person's not going to know what's in their policy. Who would, Usually people don't understand anything about their policy until they put a claim in. And once they put in a property claim, they quickly learn that it's not a avenue that they want to go down alone. The insurance company will put you on hold forever. They'll give you the runaround. They don't do things in a timely fashion, and then they're going to underpay you at the end of the day. So hiring a public adjuster, they're going to take the claim from beginning to end. They're going to do all the communication with the insurance company for you. They're going to speak on your behalf, and they're going to negotiate a number that you're comfortable with at the end of your claim, so you can properly fix the damages that's happened to your property. And that's what insurance is for.
Makes sense. And at what point, or I guess the question is, at what point during the process should a homeowner bring you in as their public adjuster?
Well, you can bring us in at any time. Obviously, if you take us in from the beginning, we're going to make sure that it's documented correctly, it's worded correctly, and that way we can make sure that it's a smooth process throughout. Also, if you've put a claim in by yourself and you don't like the results, then you can hire us. And we'll take it from there, and we will get you what's called a supplement check. Mm-hmm. And that'll add to the first check that you got that you were not satisfied with. So you can take us in from day one, or if you've already gone through it and you think you've hit the final, result, you haven't. You can hire a public adjuster, and we'll get you to the final results that you feel you're entitled to.
And if we've hired another public adjuster, could we make that switch and bring you in if we feel they're not doing their jobs correctly and so forth?
Yes, you can bring us in after the fact. If you've already hired another public adjuster, there is a process. The other public adjuster is going to have to rescind his contract, and then we will validate our contract. You can only have one public adjuster at a time. If you hire a public adjuster that's not with us, and you're not satisfied with them, and you want to maybe move with our company, we want to make sure you have a good reason to do that. We don't want to mess with any people in our field, but we do know that there's some public adjusters that kind of do it as a side job, and they don't really know what they're doing, and they're kind of just making money off of other people's problems, and that's not acceptable. So I have taken over claims that weren't done correctly. They just, got them a small check, which they probably could have got themselves, and I've taken and I've got them to where they want to be.
How long do these claims usually take? Let's say your standard water damage. We've had a lot of flooding now recently in South Florida. So if somebody has water damage in their property, they want to start a claim. How long, from experience, do you think your typical water damage claim takes?
Well, there's a couple things to that question. One, when you say water damage, you have to know that there's a difference between flooding and water damage. So flooding, it's all water damage, but it's different sources. So if you have flooding, you have to have flood insurance. If you have a pipe break in your house, that would be your homeowner's insurance. So it's two different policies. The flood policy is a nationwide policy, which we do, but they are done differently because it's a nationwide policy. If it's a homeowner's water damage policy, a pipe breaks in your house, that's a homeowner's policy. And that's what we do both, but we do a lot of pipe breaking, especially in South Florida with the older homes. That's something we really specialize in. And you're asking how long did this take? Of course, it depends, like all things does. It depends on how hard the insurance company wants to fight. If they just want to pay it out, they'll pay it out, and we can get this thing cleaned up pretty quickly. But if they just don't want to pay the right amount, it could go further. It could go to our attorneys. It could take years, but that's a nightmare scenario. We don't want that to happen. We'd like it to be done in 90 days. Yeah. Once the claim's put in, the insurance company has 90 days to either deny you or issue a payment. So the insurance company doesn't have to do anything for 90 days. And then once 90 days hits, they have to deny you, they have to pay you, and then we decide what we want to do from that. So usually by 90 days, we'd like it pretty much wrapped up, but it's really up to the insurance company how hard they want to fight it and how long they want to drag it out. Of course, having a public adjuster, we're going to get it done quicker, but it's still really up to the insurance company.
Would you review an insurance policy to make sure that someone is covered for water damage versus flooding damage, for example? And can you explain the difference really quick about flooding versus water damage?
Right. If anybody wants me to review their policy, it's very easy. Just send your policy to my email. I'll tell you what's going on in your policy. Policies, there's a lot of different companies. People like to buy policies based on price. So with different policies, you have different deductibles. You have some exclusions. You have some max limits. A lot of policies in South Florida now, they're trying to put in a $10,000 water max, meaning if you have water damage, the most they're going to pay is $10,000. Well, if you have a pipe break in your kitchen alone costs more than $10,000, and you're really going to be doing yourself a disservice by having a policy that's not properly protecting you. Like I was talking about before, the homeowner's policy, it's going to do with your home, and it's going to protect you with fire. It's going to protect you with water damage. It'll protect you something falling on your roof. Then you have hurricane coverage. That has to do with wind. Generally, a named storm has come through, like an Irma or an Andrew. Those have been the two biggest ones in South Florida. That's where your hurricane comes through. And then when it comes to flooding, that's a flood insurance policy. Flood insurance policies are, you can buy it through your local insurance agent, but it's a national policy and it has a lot of exclusions. And when it comes to using a flood policy, if you don't have actual water damage inside your house, it's not going to do a lot of help for you. With the flood policy, it doesn't cover anything outside your house. It only covers stuff inside your house. So flood policies are a little trickier. So that's also why it's important to have a public adjuster. And when a hurricane comes, it's always a matter of wind damage versus flood damage. And the flood damage, people wanted to blame it on the hurricane, and the hurricane people wanted to blame it on the flood. So it's important to get a public adjuster to be able to straighten out who's paying for what, and stuff like that. You know, you need someone knowledgeable who understands the policy.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for the insight. Any last words before we get off here?
No, it's just important to understand what a public adjuster does. You never want to use one, but the day comes and you need one. You want to make sure you have a good one. You want to have someone knowledgeable. You want someone who's going to call you back. We're at Compass Claims Consultants. We're a small company and we pride in customer service. And our motto is Compass Claim Consultants, guiding your claim. And that's what we're here to do for you guys. Thank you very much for having me, Mario. And hope everybody's safe out there.
Thank you, man. And one really quick, one last question. Any tips for homeowners out there during these hurricane and flooding season?
Well, just listen to your local authorities, you know, keep an eye on the storms. If you need sandbags, get sandbags. Obviously, if there's trees in your area, get them trimmed back. I always say before a storm comes, take a lot of pictures. Let's take pictures of your home looking like it's supposed to look like, you know, take pictures of the roof, take pictures of inside the house, take pictures of even your car, you know, that way when damage comes, you can show the insurance company these pictures of how nice your house looked before and they can see what it looks like now. So it's clear that, you know, something happened here and they're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah. What about if you take a picture of the outside of your home and there's a tree nearby? Would that cause an insurance company to, you know, if the tree falls on your house, for example, would that be something that they can deny a claim for?
No, you want to show that there was a tree there because after a storm, that tree might not be there. So you want to show, hey, look, there was a tree there. I have damage, and it's from the tree. Yeah, absolutely. They're not going to deny you because there was a tree there. You know, you're supposed to have trees. We live in South Florida. Trees is what, you know, makes the world breathe. So they can't do that. So if you have trees, take pictures. We want to show what it looked like before, what it looks like after, and that way the insurance company can't deny it, you know. And I hate to say it this way, but just act like your claim is going to go all the way to trial, right? The more evidence you have, the better you're going to be. So the insurance company, they love to throw, you know, this is long term, this is seepage, this is wear and tear, you know. They try to deny and underpay everything as much as they can. So if the more proof we have, the easier it's going to be for the public adjuster and the better outcome the homeowner is going to receive.
Hey, Sam, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. See you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, man.